Hello everybody and welcome to this Easter recipe episode. I'll be making this vegan and gluten-free quiche. I've never made quiche before and I thought this was a great time to make it since a lot of people eat quiche for Easter brunch. To get started with the quiche, I'm first gonna make the pie crust. I'm actually using the same pie crust recipe that I used for my tofu chocolate pie. I'm gonna link that video up here so you can check it out. The only difference between that pie crust and the one I'm using for this quiche is I'm omitting the sugar since this is a savory dish and the tofu chocolate pie, of course, was a sweet one. This is a super easy pie crust. There's only 5 ingredients, so let's run through them very quickly. There's 1.5 cups of almond flour, 3/4 cup of this all-purpose gluten-free flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of golden flaxseed meal. The 5th ingredient is some tablespoons of water. Some of them will be mixed together with the 1 tablespoon of flaxseed meal. When they're mixed together, it'll make what's called a flax egg. So that's basically functioning like an egg in the pie crust dough. All right, I'm excited to jump right in and make this pie crust. I think it's so fun. I have my pie crust tin, or I should say glass, right here ready to go. So let's get rolling. There's 17 ingredients that go into the quiche filling. I'll go through each of them very quickly. And to give you an overview of how the filling comes together, I basically saute the vegetables on my stovetop and I pulse down the tofu with the nutritional yeast and a couple of other ingredients in a food processor. And then the tofu mixture goes into the saute pan with the vegetables at the very end. Starting off with the veggies, we have 2 cups of chopped kale. This is 1 diced yellow onion and a few scallions chopped up. I decided to just put them into one bowl together. 1 container of baby bella mushrooms chopped up into super tiny pieces, 1/4 cup of sun-dried tomatoes, 5 cloves of garlic, 2 cups of chopped broccoli, 1 container of soft tofu diced into cubes, 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 1/2 teaspoon of fennel seeds, 1/2 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, 1 teaspoon of dried basil, 1 teaspoon of salt, and finally 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper. That is quite a lot of ingredients, but we made it through. I'm gonna get started sauteing the veggies on the stovetop, and then I'll bring my food processor out from the cabinet and right here to the countertop where I'll pulse down the tofu and get that pulsed mixture into the sauteed veggies. That is just about it for step 2. All I have to do now is take this creamy filling and put it into the pie crust. First though, I'll give you a close-up of how this creamy quiche filling is looking. I'm loving the color from all the veggies and it's very creamy from the tofu. So let's get this into the pie crust now. Whew, this is definitely a more labor-intensive recipe, but it's very fun, I have to admit. I'm so happy with this. Oh my goodness. Is that not exactly the right volume of filling for this pie crust? I mean, that is just so nice and tidy. I'm very happy with how this is looking. Finally, it's time to put this bad boy in the oven and it's gonna cook at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 40 minutes. I'm gonna pop it in the oven now and I cannot wait for this 40 minutes to be done. Oh my goodness, this quiche is looking so delicious and it smells like pizza. The seasonings are so fragrant. I'm just gonna grab a plate super quick, some silverware. One last look at this quiche before I dig in and tell you how it tastes. Let's see how this vegan gluten-free quiche holds up. It held together. I'm very happy with that. Here, let's get you a close-up. Hopefully I'm not dropping too much of this quiche on my countertop, but just look at that. So nice. It smells amazing. Now let's see how it tastes. It's like a veggie scramble in a pie crust. That's how I would describe it. I love the tofu and I love the color and cheesiness from the nutritional yeast. The flavor that comes from the fennel, the basil, and the Italian seasoning make this taste so like lasagna, like pizza, like something you would eat at an Italian restaurant. This being my first attempt ever at making quiche, I am very pleased with how it turned out. It was pretty easy to make. It didn't require a ton of skill. Definitely go and check out the recipe. I've linked it below. That's everything for this Easter recipe episode. Let me know what you think of the recipe if you decide to try it out. Also, don't be shy and leave a comment below if there's a recipe you'd like me to try out or would like me to attempt to make vegan/gluten-free. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, eat well, and I will see you in the next episode on this channel. Bye!